Orem City thinks they can violate the plain language of the Constitution, prohibiting the government from stripping you of both your right to free speech as well as your right to get redress of grievances from the government. I'm Ben McClintock from defendingutah.org. Please click on subscribe as well as the bell to get notifications, and go to defendingutah.org and get involved and support our efforts by becoming a member today. Friday the 13th, 2020 has turned out to be a real horror show, at least in the city of Orem. Today, the city unanimously, that means everyone on the city council as well as the mayor, without exception, voted to violate the law and threaten you with jail time and fines if you dared to exercise your right to free speech and to demand a redress of grievances from government officials. The Founding Fathers call such acts pretend legislation, and we should too. It's fake and should be treated as such. If we treat it as legitimate, it will not stop here, but will spread until any semblance of freedom we have is completely stripped away. The fake law says if you simply protest at a public official's home, you are guilty of a Class B misdemeanor. That's 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine, all for the audacity of daring to speak your mind. But Ben, the order says you have your speech anywhere else, but in a certain spot. It's extreme to say that they've taken it away. Well, dear viewer, let's look at the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. It says, quote, "Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech." Any law abridging your freedom of speech on public property is a clear as well as obvious violation of not being allowed to make a law. The government is specifically prohibited from making any law limiting your freedom of speech in public. The First Amendment also says the government is not allowed to make any law at all limiting your ability to petition the government for a redress of grievances. If government officials aren't at work and they all are working from home, the only way to directly petition them is in their home. All of this has been allowed to happen because too many of our fellow citizens have allowed the government to tell them what to wear, where they can go, and who they can assemble with. If you think compliance will help get this over with, you probably believe all we need is 2 more weeks to flatten the curve, and you have zero credibility. Obeying this order now is giving consent to the government to break the law. By protesting in front of a government servant's home, you are obeying the law. By following the order, you are breaking the law. Stay open to stay free. Never close and never allow the state to violate the law. Become part of the solution. Become a member of Defending Utah today. Join our mailing list so we can still reach you with our news reports at defendingutah.org. Until next time, I'm Ben McClintock.